And they're off, and it's World 4 to begin.
Nice. That looks like an interesting World 4. You see one fortress near the castle, and only one pipe to get there. So there's... Oh, look at that. They're going to have to go all the way back through World 4 to the very beginning on the other side of the island to break the lock to get back all the way over. So,
and it looks like their first stage is going to be 4-3.
So the 4-3 can still be troublesome with the enemy sets here. You don't see anything too crazy, but sometimes you'll start seeing the Karibo shoes and other things show up. But well, speak of the devil, there he is. So both runners getting through each stage pretty quickly here. They're going to be finishing this up and see what else this seed brings them. Classic's gonna, yep, both Classic and Jabem see the pipe. They're gonna take that. It's gonna take them, let them skip a stage, and they're gonna find 4F1 here.
Not too bad of a start, I think.
Oh, ooh, and Jabem does take a death there.
Me and my mouth.
Classic's trying to be careful with this hotfoot. It's kind of got his mind of his own.
Right, that's something we had forgot to mention for a trace. Part of the randomizer actually includes a secondary type of hotfoot as an enemy that was in the game but was removed before the final product was released. And unlike the normal hotfoot, which will only follow you if you don't look at him, similar to a boo, this other type of hotfoot will follow its own path and will ignore whether or not you're looking at it.
Exactly. So yeah, you gotta watch out. Those things are, I think they're pretty much disliked as most of the other fire enemies that you see in the game.
Definitely, especially in tight spaces like boards, because it's hard to jump over them.
Yeah. Ooh, Classic with a nice duck jump there, getting that giant hammer, bro. He does find a hammer for his worth. And Jabem has straight access to 4F2, so we're seeing 2 vanilla levels here for World 4. Not a surprise, honestly. We do happen to see these two forts get paired together quite a bit in the randomizer. Both of them working on trying to keep their fire suits to make this boom boom fight extremely easy. And sure enough, there they go. So Jabem right now has about a half a second, like a few second lead here, but he's going to lose it the moment he has to go fight those hammer bros.
Oh, even worse right there.
Yeah, they did a little dance there, couldn't get off of each other on the tile, so unfortunately that's going to cost him a little bit of time, as Classic's playing the World 5 airship, going to head into his fight with Iggy Koopa, probably the one with the worst hitbox.
Oh, and Jabem ends up with a secondary one.
Gets the star for his work. And Classic does take down Iggy. So that's 1 Earthquaker, so there's a possibility of having 2. So with that, World 2 is coming up, guys. Put your guesses in chat of which world's coming up next.
I'm gonna say World 2.
World 2?
I think so. Maybe make some use of that hammer they just got.
I'm thinking a long World 6 again. I like long seeds, though. It makes it more exciting. Oh, we get a World 5 instead here with a nice Tanuki gift from Peach. So Classic's got, 5-9 to start.
Oh.
Now, the important thing is he got rid of that Fire Chomp immediately. That Fire Chomp has a tendency to make one of these platforms despawn if he's not taken care of right away.
Right, and that can really spell doom. Especially because I don't think they have many other any other power-ups to help deal with that.
No, they got the Tanuki suit, and that's it. Jabem has a star that might help him, but in reality, you just want to get rid of him as soon as you see him.
Jabem
Nice shot by Jabem. So, while this is one of the 2 auto-scrollers, you know, take back, enjoy the scenery. Kind of let these guys keep a cool mind of knowing, well, anything could happen. So,
Paradox brings up a good point. They're forced to go through the tower too.
And here's the fort. It's going to be the World 8 fort, the Maze fort here. So we saw this one last time in World 1, so they got or not World 1, I think it was World 2 maybe. So they seen this pretty early on in both the races.
At least it's getting it out of the way.
That's true. Much as I hate seeing 7F2 show up in my seeds early on, I'm just like, good, get rid of it.
Ooh, Classic got the door.
Nice one cycle there by Classic. Jabem, he's entering his Boom Boom fight as Jabem's just now entering the fort, so... Still got a little bit of a lead on Jabem, but like I said, this is still early. We don't know what could happen. Classic heading his way into the tower here. Ooh, takes unusual death there. Oh, Jabem misses the one cycle there, so he's going to do another P-switch. That kind of helps out Classic there by keeping his lead just a little bit longer. And Jabem takes down Boom Boom as Classic's about halfway through the tower now. So yeah, both the runners are going to have to play the tower depending on... Doesn't really matter where the pipe takes them, because either way they're going to either play 5-7 or the two Hammer Bros.
Oh, that's interesting.
Classic's going to play what's 3-2 here. It's not too much of a time loss, but I see why he picked to play the stage instead of actually playing the Hammer Bros. Just taking the guess on what the stage could be, that helps him out. So
Yeah.
you never know what stage you're going to see. It could be a long one, it could be a short one. But if it was a long one, you definitely probably would have seen him take a death. As Jabem's going to take the other route and play through the Hammer Bros. Does get the nice double kill on the Fire Bros. Gets a frog suit for his work.
Unfortunately, Jabem managed to miss the mushroom right there, but not too bad.
No. Classic finding himself in, I believe, 2-3 here.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, he's got some of the giant enemies showing up here, so that's not a bad enemy set to have. You just got to watch out for those Koopas. They got a weird hitbox when it comes to them. Jabem's going to take the same path as well. So we're looking at, I'd say, like 2/3 of the stage lead right now for Classic. So
I'd say so.
it could go either way still. One death, one misplay.
There's 6-3 again.
At this time, I think they're ready to not take a hit from that Fire Snake, both players. Classic easily makes work of that stage. Jabem's going to use his Tanuki suit and head his way through the stage as Classic finds 6-8. No boss bass this time, but the mini Cheep Cheep does show up. Classic holding on to that shell for... Ooh. I don't think that's what he meant to do, but it looked like he was holding on to it for protection and backfired and hit him instead. Trying to keep that Cheep Cheep on the screen is what he was trying to do, because the moment he gets off the screen, he could respawn right in the middle of the screen on you. So you gotta watch out for that.
Alright, Classic's in the 1-5 beta stage.
Question from chat says, what was World 1? World 1 was World 4. So you can tell right now from the previous seed to this seed, this one's moving a lot faster than the other one did.
I always wonder how they manage to get through the pipe when they have a piranha plant like that, when they have one of the plants still in the pipe without taking damage.
Many wonders of Mario, I guess.
Also, everybody, I'm sorry about that. That was my niece being a little excitable.
It happened.
If you want it, she's having some fun, so. Speaking of fun, it looks like Classic and Jabem are in the World 7 airship.
Yes, they are. And Classic still got a little bit of a lead. Not too much, though. Jabem's right on his tail.
Trails. World 4 is the Giant World. World 6 is Ice World.
Correct. Looks like a nice, beefy Roy there. Jabem did take a hit. He's got to play a little bit safe here. And he does get through the fight successfully. So both players are going to be heading into World 3. World 3 might rear its ugly head. We'll see. Drop your guesses in chat of what we think World 3 is going to be.
Oh, that's disappointing.
But he's perfect. Just remember, Big John beat the game, and Mitch has already gone through twice. So we got World 1 here. Ooh, 7-6. No power up. Classic's probably gonna take a death and restart. Jabem's gonna do the same thing, I believe.
Probably.
Jabem has a P-Wing, so does Classic, so they're both gonna use their P-Wings effectively. Or is Jabem's gonna play?
I'm actually a little surprised by this.
Yeah, I was gonna say this might cost him a bit. So Classic's gonna go into the next stage. That's gonna be the World 2 sand level.
And with the Angry Sun.
Yeah, kind of a vanilla stage. Enemies are a little off, but close enough. Mitch pointing out that Jabem does not have a P-Wing.
Huh.
And there's Atlantis. Wow.
And just like that, Classic is taking the route of the Titanic.
Yeah, he's gonna play the World 1 fort again in World 1. We saw that in the last seed. And it looks like he's just gonna have to play through it as is, because gonna try to avoid
Yeah, because otherwise he'll have to go through Atlantis regardless.
Yeah.
There's that swag again.
So Jabem getting through 7-6, so yeah, not something the runners want to see this early on.
Definitely. So to Jabem's credit, being able to finish it is very impressive still, because it is a difficult level, and most speedrunners at this point just know to either, like, typically they're used to having a P-Wing or whatever to get through it, or a Cloud. So being able to get through it normally is still an impressive feat on its own.
Agreed. As Classic Gamer here working his way through 4-2. He's going to avoid the power-ups.
Ooh, and cheap. Talk about cheap.
Yeah. Coming through the air, taking them down. But the big thing for him is that he's going to be using Classic likes to keep his P speed, so you'll rarely ever see him keep a tail.
And it looks like Jabem realized the situation he's in as well, so...
Yeah, knowing he could just play the fort, it'd be a lot faster. Classic getting 2 star, basically using a star and getting a star, and getting a Cloud out of it, fighting those Hammer Bros.
Now, here's hoping that power-up... Okay, good. I was about to say, here's hoping that power-up isn't a tail, and that Jabem doesn't, like, make a mistake and forget about, going normally.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people do that before when they know they gotta play through it and they still use the item. I've done it myself in a couple races.
I've done it a couple times before, and needless to say, when I as soon as you get up there and you realize you're supposed to do it normally, sometimes some bad words come out.
Yeah. So now Classic heading into the World 6 airship here for World 3, which is World 1. That doesn't confuse you. Trying for the clip, doesn't get it. And he'll be heading his way in to take on a fight with Larry Koopa as Jabem's finishing up 4-2.
Ooh, another 5-hitter.
With that, Classic does finish up World 3, so we got World 4 coming up. We still got some long ones in there. We still got World 7, World 6, and World 3. We're going to give 2 a break. 2's not too long, but sometimes it can be.
That was 5 hits, Trails. Ooh, and
World
next
2.
is World 2.
So, Hammer may not be required depending on where that pipe leads them. Jabem getting stuck in a little bit of an earthquake here. Does get a Fire Flower, so that's definitely worth the wait. Ooh, takes a hit. He's got to be careful now. Ooh, loses both power-ups. His Classic basically literally flies through 3-1, gets to the end of it, and he'll be moving on in World 2. So Jabem working his way through the World 6 airship here as Classic heads into 2-2, which we're going to find, I believe this is 5-7? I could be wrong.
I'm not 100% sure. Maybe?
Either way, it's a relatively quick stage, so Classic's already through that as Jabem heads into his fight with Larry. He's going to find it's going to take 5 hits to take down this Koopaling. And Classic finds himself in 5F1. Using the damage boost to his advantage, he's going to be heading straight into Boom Boom fight really quickly. So he's going to check the pipe, see where this leads him. With the fort down, you don't have to worry about a lock blocking you anywhere. Yeah, it looks like he doesn't need to use the hammer. He's going to find 1-1 with a Fire Snake hanging out in front. Jabem making his way through 3-1.
Thankfully, neither of these stages are all that difficult.
Ooh,
and as I say that...
Commentator's curse. Classic gets pinched there by the Fire Snake. They're going to get a retry here for Classic. Jabem's heading his way to 2-2.
And what's a race without a mulligan, right?
That's right. You can tell this seed's going a little bit faster as we're approaching the 19-minute mark, heading into the first the castle for World 2.
Jabem managing to avoid hitting the 3rd star.
And now we got Morton Koopa. Looks like a 4-hitter. Oh, we're going to see another 5-hitter coming up.
Like the King's making his audition for taxi driver.
And gets a car joke out of it with the frog suit. So we got World 6 come up here. You see 2 forts, but no locks or anything required so far. And Classic finds himself in the Super Tank stage.
Jabem finds himself in 6-6.
Jabem making really good use there of that star. I'm gonna just say, I don't need that power up, just keep going. Classic's gonna be moving on. He's gonna go to 6-1. Check this out. It's gonna be 2-2.
To answer your question, Cheap Safe, I know that Jabem is actually using I believe it's something like an SD2NES or something along those lines, to where he can actually put it onto an SD card and play through the console. But yes, as Stats Paimon is pointing out, emulator is perfectly fine. In fact, most runners tend to use the emulator because it's easier to set it up that way.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Jabem just played through 6-6. I wonder if he realized he could have just used the pipe there. Classic getting another hammer, so...
And Jabem getting nailed by the same fire snake.
Yeah, unfortunately, the pipes are all pretty next to each other. Classic's going to go straight in to find 4-4. Oh, could not get the Lakitu over to him, so he's going to grab this power up and go. Using that star, he's going to get rid of Lakitu just so he doesn't have to worry about him sniping him later on the stage. So Jabem finishing up World 4, he's going to be heading into World 5, which is World 6. Classic going to be moving on in World 6 here. Let's see what stage is up next for him with this fort. 6F2. Brad, is this randomized?
I believe that's actually the actual position, too.
It is, yes. Jabem putting on his nice little frog suit's going to play the super tanks here. Classic finishing up Boom Boom with the third jump. And Jabem's going to be jumping into his fight. So Classic did not play one of the forts. That might come back to bite him, but we'll find out here. Jumping over to Little H here. Nice movement there by Classic.
H-jump is always fun jump.
Gets rid of the Mama Bass there, Big Bertha. And he's done with 3-9. So Jabem's going to play that, which is going to be the Navy stage. Classic's going to find out once they stop moving. No, that is not required.
Necessary.
And he's going to find 5-8 here. Getting that P speed, which is crucial for the stage. Getting rid of that Lakitu.
Ooh, and Classic managing to avoid getting hit by that Paragoomba at the end.
Nice movement by him. So Jabem finished up the Navy. He's going to be... Unfortunately, he'll never know that he didn't need that because it will already be off the screen before he gets there. So Classic heading into the World 5 airship, which will be the World 2 airship.
Ooh, Jabem not able to get the Lakitu jump either.
I think I've gotten it once in like the 40 tries I've done on it, so I don't understand it, but I know these guys got a better understanding of it.
I'm usually able to get it easier on the Super Nintendo version as opposed to the NES.
I know you are a fan of the SNES version of Mario 3 more than the NES.
Well, I prefer that. Well, running wise, I prefer the NES. In terms of like casual play, I definitely for the SNES.
I could agree with you there. So Classic Gamer learns to fall flat into the deep ravine. And he'll be moving into World 6. We still haven't seen World 3 or 7. And there's 7. So Wendy will be the true final boss. Jabem working his way through 6F2 here. Did take a hit from the waffles, it looks like, so he's going to be heading into Boom Boom with no HP.
And there's the troll pipe again.
Well, rather see that now than later.
That's true.
Classic's going to go straight for the 4. He's going to find 7-3 here. Oh no, sorry, 3-4. My mistake. Jabem playing through 3-9 on his side. So unfortunately, it looks like Classic sitting roughly about a 4-5. I want to say about 3 or 4 stage lead right now.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
But anything could happen because you never know. Classic could get slipped up and play in stage on accident. He didn't need to. He could make a wrong routing choice. Anything could happen. Classic finding Fort Knox here. So does that mean it's Ugly Brothers waiting on the other end? 7F2?
Oh, let's hope not.
He
Oh, and
tends to love
Jabem's
to
an
be
8.
there. Ooh. So Classic now heading into his Boom Boom fight as Jabem's trying to avoid some fireballs here for 8-2.
Ooh, that was a little risky to take that jump while still running down.
Classic's gonna check some pipes here, see where that leads him. Got multiple choices here. And that's the correct choice. No music box, so he's gonna have to play the Piranha stage. And he's found his end to World 6.
Yep. And honestly, this Piranha stage is not nearly as hard as the other one, I think.
Oh, absolutely not.
So Jabem's entering the, let's see, the World 3 airship as Jabem is just now getting into the World 7 map. So Classic has about a 1 world, roughly.
Someone in chat points out a run without music boxes. Yes, I'm amazed myself. We're usually seeing a ton of them at this point. But the item use here is not as much seen here. You're not going to see as many items show up as before. So Classic Gamer heading into World 7, which will be World 3. As I joke around a lot, Wendy will be the final boss before Bowser. Keep in mind that letter there, you don't know what came in that letter, so that could be an item that could be useful to Classic or Jabem. Could be a hammer suit, could be a fire flower. We don't know.
Another interesting thing to keep in mind too is since I think Classic may have 2 hammers. So if he wants, he may potentially try the double rock.
That's true.
If he has that option.
Yeah, he's playing through 6F3 on a carpet fort. That's gonna unlock a lock. And one lock I saw was on an island with the Mushroom House and Spade games.
Looks like Classic won't have to worry about the double rock after all.
Nope. Looks like he won't have to, so he's gonna cloud here. Say goodbye to that Hammer Brother who just noped right out of there.
Well, there's the music box.
See, we had to mention it, and then it will show up. And there it is. There's Wendy. So roughly about 30.5 minutes here. Classic's in the World 4 airship for World 7, and he'll face off against Wendy Koopa.
Nice little duck down.
A little duck slide there to avoid the porches. Wendy is thick, so we got a thick Wendy, 3 HP, so not too difficult. Well, with that, Classic Gamer will be moving into World 8.
I guess now the big question is going to be how much of a troll will World 8 be?
That we don't know, so we'll find out shortly. I'd say last time was not too trolly, kind of linear actually.
Yeah, somewhat.
Knowing where to go wasn't too difficult for them.
And they get yet another hammer, which I don't think is going to be any use in the world.
No, unfortunately the hammers are completely useless now. So, ooh, this is a nice hand stage area. We're going to find the World 1-3 for the tank sprite. Fortunately, Classic's just going to take a death there and keep on moving. Heading into the Air Force icon, we're going to find 5F2.
I'm glad to see Classic decided to not continue that attempt with God Jump, because I don't think that would have even worked.
No, he kind of knew it himself. He was, I think, more of calculating that jump to get into the pipe. Maybe overshot it a bit. So here he goes into the Boom Boom fight. So that would be 1 fort. There are 4 forts in World 8. There could be 4 locks. There could be 2 locks, 2 bridges. We don't know yet until we see the Valley of Bowser. So
Alright, Jabem.
Walk up there.
Jabem's entering into World 7 now.
Classic finding 3F2. Now 3F2 has been an interesting one. He's actually going to take a death here. I'm wondering if he's wanting to... Oh, he's wanting to use the frog
that's
suit.
why. One of the few stages where the frog suit is actually very useful.
Yeah, very fast too. Nice thought there by Classic. Even while it's taking the time to take a death, this is still faster to do it while dying there. So there's Jabem with the double hammer use. So he's going to make up some time here. He finds out he's got to break a lock, so he's going to backtrack a bit here. His Classic's going to check this pipe. Sees another pipe. Might as well check it if you find it. That is blocked by another lock, so there's 2 locks at least. Ooh. Jabem having to replay the Air Force there. Now keep in mind, Classic did not play. That is not the fort required. So Classic's heading into the Navy stage, which we're going to find the World 2 Desert Fort.
Ooh, managed to avoid getting hit by that hot foot.
A nice move there by Classic. Jabem will defeat that fort, but is going to find out, unfortunately, that's not the one he needed.
Okay, so it looks like that one was not a lock that was necessary for Classic side.
No,
But
but he does find out there is a bridge required. Got 4 hammers, a cloud, and a frog suit. Everything a man needs to survive. So if we find 3F1, this is going to be door 6 for it. This might be it for Classic. This is what he'll need to get into Bowser's Fortress. Ooh, that cheap.
Sneak attack.
Gotta watch out for that one. Jabem working his way through 6F3. Oh, takes a death, unfortunately.
That's a little disappointing.
Yeah, plus the screen scroll on top of it does not help. Classic finds out this is it. No hands. There he goes. Go to Cloud and head on in.
Just for the lulz.
Just for the walls, that's right. And looks, as long as Classic doesn't fumble around and fail 5 different times, he should take game 2 and knock Jabem out of the Super Mario 3 Randomizer tournament. See, he's already into the fire pit area with the fireballs. Going to use the donut blocks here to get by. And to the second to last room before Bowser. And with that, Classic's into his Bowser fight.
So all he has to do is just dodge the fireballs and he's clear for takeoff into the next round. You know, it always makes me wonder too, why does Bowser intentionally build his castle with bricks knowing he could crash through them?
Well, I can tell you now, Bowser's not the brightest of them all. You think he's smart, but he's not. And with this last jump, Classic will take the 2-0 win here and knock Jabem out of the tournament, and he will move on to the next round of the tournament here, where he will face the winner of Human Mustard and Cabin856, which is scheduled for Saturday at 6 p.m.
And with this, Classic Gamer officially finishes with a time of 37:22.
So Jabem now heading into World 8 himself. We're going to try and get Classic in here for an interview while he plays through World 8. Jabem working his way through 5F2. Does have the tail, but that shouldn't cause too much of a problem for him. So guys, please keep in mind, today's races were exciting for all of us here. Make sure to drop a follow to both Classic Gamer and Jabem here. They both gave us a really good showcase. Can't go wrong with either one. They're excellent players. Unfortunately, one of them does have to go home, and that will be Jabem. Jabem figuring out where he needs to go here. He's in the World 2 Desert Fort.
I'm taking a bit of a slower approach. Spikes, but definitely worth it to avoid dying, so.
Yeah, dying's going to cost you more time than it will than taking your time. Gonna check the pipe behind the lock he just opened up. Fortunately, he's gonna find it's behind another lock. And this is where he'll find where it will lead to Bowser's Valley. Knowing he needs a bridge, so he's gonna go back and probably play the tank icon he saw on the previous screen. And here we welcome ClassicGamer88. GG, sir.
GG.
Thank you. Is this thing on?
What's your thoughts on the seeds there?
Those seeds were awesome.
I have to admit, the first one was probably the longest seed we've seen so far in the brackets. So a lot of people were kind of surprised at the 30-minute mark you guys are still in World 6.
I wonder why.
Yeah. The big thing, too, is I saw that the...
Ooh, Jabem managed to get the one-frame trick second try for the door.
Third door, nice.
So I noticed the very beginning of the race between the two of you guys in the first one, you guys had a little bit of a sloppy start for both of you. Was it just kind of shaking off the nerves and getting ready?
It wasn't nerves. That first death, if that's what you are talking about, I landed in between the note blocks, so I got no elevation and fell right into the pit. That first one, pretty much, after I was seeing what I was seeing with the seed, I just decided to have fun and go for every swag thing I could, so hopefully everybody enjoyed that.
Yeah, we saw you go for the Jesus clip. Unfortunately, you couldn't get it, and I knew after try number 2, you're like, forget it.
Yeah, the first one I kind of just fell into the lava, so I had to give it another honest try.
Ooh, and unfortunately, Jabem jumps into the space waffle.
So, with your win here, Classic, that does put you into the next round of the brackets where you will be facing off between Human Mustard or Kevin856. Thoughts on those two guys?
Whoever wants to show up to race me, let's do it.
That's what I expect from you. I think that, honestly, between the two of those guys, it's going to be a really good one. Human Mustard's a really good competitor, and in all honesty, Kevin's kind of a dark horse. He's really good. Just a lot of people underestimate him.
Definitely.
Jabem here working through the last room before Bowser. As long as he avoids the first few fireballs, he should be good to go.
That's another thing I just realized. I don't think anyone saw any hammer suits throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, I don't... No hammer suits.
Shoutouts to 4 hammers entering Bowser's Castle as a happy cloud.
Yeah, we did see that. We did enjoy that one. Now, there was one thing. First match, you played 7-5. Did you realize you didn't have to play that?
I was already in the level. I said, let me do it, and I feel I did it pretty quickly, so it didn't really bother me.
Yeah, overall, you played it really well. I was just surprised because it was like there was a route to get around, but you still played it.
Hey, you gotta play 7-5.
Yeah. And in reality, between the two of you, that actually gave Jabem time to catch up, because at that point you were about a stage and a half ahead of him. So.
Speaking of which, everyone get your GGs out in the chat for Jabem, finishing with an official time of 43:50.
GG's to Jabem.
Yeah, and in that first one, you know, if anyone couldn't tell after a while, I was just having fun. Second one, I tried to bring the goods, even though the seed was trying to still stick it to me.
Yeah, and unfortunately, sometimes that's the way it does, because sometimes the seed's fun, and sometimes the seed likes to kick you in the groin. So,
Hey guys.
Yeah.
And we have Jabem joining us. GG.
GG. Great game, Glass Gamer.
Thank you. GG to you as well.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I liked having the hard seeds. Like, I've seen a lot of really easy seeds, but it was fun to have hard ones, even though, you know, it resulted in me losing.
yeah, I was just telling Classic, I said the first seed was the longest seed we've seen probably since the group stages.
It was incredible. It was so crazy.
There's
It's
a lot
all
of...
my fault.
My favorite part about it is both games delivered to us the clouds that we needed, the level after we needed them, both times.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys played Atlantis, and then sure enough, here's a hand stage. Have a cloud.
It's always going to go that way, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, but I think both of you guys played really well today. Unfortunately, Jabem, this does knock you out of the tournament.
I've heard that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts on what your experiences were and overall?
I really liked this. I liked that we had changing flags throughout the set. It was cool that I got to play all of them, I got to play the tournament part. So I'm really thankful for that, and had a really good time with the community. It's gotten so much more interesting since last year when we did the same thing. Everybody's doing this for a while now, and it's like really grown into this like unique thing. Last year it was just kind of thrown together.
And it's always interesting to see like the advancements sometimes. Like, 'cause I remember watching the tournament last year. Like, I ended up learning about the tournament like halfway through it, starting through so I just sat there and watched, and like almost everyone was taking like close to an hour to finish their seed. And now we look back, started the group stages here. The first set of flags was the same exact thing, and the times are down to like 40 to 45 minutes at most.
Yeah, it's
definitely interesting to see how things advance.
Yeah, there's some new strats out there. People have, really procedural ways of playing now. Before it was like, oh, I'm just going to take a random path and hope that I'm the lucky one who wins. But I still do that sometimes, just randomly, just to see if I can change up my RNG, get a little advantage here or there. But it's
yeah, especially
less common.
When it comes to World 7, there's a lot of RNG when it comes to the fortresses. It's kind of a shot in the dark of which one you need to play and which one you don't need to play.
World 7's become very strange in the sense that all the islands seem to just have 3 pipes sitting next to each other now, with no levels in between them at all. And you can just pick any of them. There's really no right choice.
It's true. There really is. I mean, you could go into World 7, you see it, and you're like, oh, here's World 7. This could be 9-10 minutes right here, and the next thing you know, it's 2.5 minutes, and you're already leaving the world. So,
yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think I lost a really large amount of time in this World 7, especially like at one point I went back through a pipe that I thought was a different pipe, and I just did a loop-de-loop around the whole island.
Yeah, I think we've all done that before. So,
I feel like I should have a whiteboard and just like X things like colors.
Start doing what the Zelda randomizer people do. They have their dry erase boards that they have their maps on and start marking everything.
Yeah, I think Riker Rider used to do that for end cards, but...
Yeah, that's kind of what I do. I have a notepad with me that I'll write down the patterns, and it got to the point in the second group, like in the second tourney flags, I would start writing down where exactly the pipes would lead me in World 7. Otherwise, I'd get lost, and I'd be running around basically trying to find my butt with a map and a flashlight and failing miserably.
Yeah, it can be tough.
Yeah, especially with World 8, that's cost people races and wins.
They call World 8 the Great Equalizer, but I'm not.
And there's a good reason.
I was gonna say last weekend I was a good example. I came back from behind twice in World 8 to beat Zodiac, so that was the first time I've ever experienced it or even seen it myself. But it showed right there I made the right options and took a couple gambles that paid off. So you never know with World 8.
The world I'm seeing the most variance in is the World 3s. Like, people have different World 3s a lot, where you'll see the same seed, but everybody does their World 3 very differently.
And your previous race here, Classic took the pipe and went from the far right to the left, where you used both hammers to skip through to go to that fort where he actually clouded over the Air Force stage.
Yeah, I had 2 hammers that I didn't even want because I had to fight both Hammer Bros in World 4 because they just kept moving on top of me. So I guess that was lucky.
Yeah. But in the end, though, it kind of cost you a little bit more time. But in reality, I mean, that's the thing about World 3. I think World 3 is the biggest troll now when it comes to the map. Besides, well, 5 could be, but I still think 3 is the worst.
Yeah, I definitely think 3 is getting weird.
And you never know what Wendy's going to do when you get there.
Yeah, I think Wendy actually killed me for the first time in a really long time because she had moon jumping. And she went straight through me.
Indeed, yeah. So, like I said before, guys, unfortunately, this is Jabem's exit. Classic Gamer will be moving on into the next round. I do want to let you guys know that please drop both these guys a follow. They're both really good runners. They're fun to watch. They're exciting. If you want to, please drop and give me and Demon Battler a follow. We love doing the commentary for these guys. We love the tournament. Please check it out. Also, if you're interested in the SMB randomizer, SMB3 randomizer, sorry, be sure to check out the link I'm going to drop here below. We got a Discord. We love teaching new people how to play. Biggest thing, if you don't have a lot of knowledge of Mario 3, that's okay. You're going to start getting some knowledge of Mario 3 here. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, we want you guys to head over to Speed Gaming 2. We have another really good matchup heading up right up there. We got Pro 77 against Mitch Flower Power. That's 2 really good heavy hitters there. They're going to be facing off. The winner of that one will be facing off against the winner between Ibuba and myself, Gimp Extreme. That race will be on Saturday, so get on over there and watch it. And other than that, I just want to say thanks, everybody, for hanging out and having fun tonight with us.
Yep.
Thanks, commentators.
Any last thoughts on the seed, guys?
Not on the seats, but as usual, I'll be rooting for you, Classic Gamer, for the rest of the tournament so that you can justify my loss.
Well, I appreciate that, but know that you handled your business.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. This was a lot of fun. Again, head over to Speed Gaming 2 right now. We got that race going on currently. So thanks again, and we will see you all tomorrow night for 2 more races. That will be Amorietta against Paradox 64 and at 6:30. And then after that at 8 o'clock, you're going to see Macobra 52 against S Diesel. So we got 2 really good races coming up tomorrow. So we'll see you all then.
Yep, so for everyone here, I'm Demon Battler. This is Gimp Extreme, our 2 wonderful runners. Have a good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night, everyone, and remember, don't play reckless like me unless you're a madman.
Good night, guys.
Night.